Okay, welcome back, Loomers. It's Art by Will Scott, and right now we're gonna go ahead and start doing Yoshi's legs. We're gonna be using this configuration in still, unless you want to go ahead and use your monster tail. I've already started one of them, just so I can be able to confirm that it's going to look like this. So if you want to have it done on the monster tail, you can. We're gonna be using these three and these three pegs, but if you're going to be doing it on your loom, we're going to be using these three and these three pegs. Okay, all right. So just like the hands, we're going to have to do them in those separate sections. Let's start off with the foot, and we're going to be needing quite a lot of greens again. The first ones, of course, we're going to be making the toenails. So for the toenails, we're going to be grabbing this one in particular will be still one band capped. Okay, so cap one band, just like that. And let's make, again, my arrows are up here, so I'm going to start from up here. I'm going to make two toes for right now. So I just did two cap ones. I'm going to do double bands. Okay, so two bands right there, okay? And that is it. Now I'm going to cap that one, okay? So I'm going to cap it 4 times. That's 4, okay? And I'll do this one also, okay? So again, 2 bands. 1, 2, 3, and 4, okay? I'm going to need a third toe. So let me go ahead and make one right under. Okay. And again, 2 bands. Kept that one too. And go ahead and loom them. Okay, when you're done, we're going to go ahead and grab one, and we're going to apply it to one band, okay? And you're going to cap that band and place your toe onto, there you go, onto those bands. And I'm looking for that empty space, okay? Right here, I'm going to be doing it on these. So I'm just going to go ahead and put it right across in the middle right here, okay? So I'm going to put that one just like so. And then before I lay it on like that, I'm going to figure 8 it, okay? So I want to still be able to do it as a figure 8. So I'm going to place it just like that. And I'm going to push my toe up to one corner, the top part, okay? All right, let me go ahead and... Okay, I'm going to do that same thing again for another one. I'm going to grab my next toe, grab a band, and I'm going to cap that, transfer it over. I'm going to place it on this one, make sure it goes right across in the middle, and put it as a figure 8. Be careful when you're doing this because you don't want anything to fall apart. And keep this up there, okay? My next toe. And we're going to make the big toe last, okay? Just like the thumb on our hands. Transfer it onto your capped band. I'm going to go ahead and put it right there. And I'm going to need my hook, this part, and I'm gonna place it as a figure 8. Okay, push down. Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead and create our border with double bands. Okay, we're gonna start off right here, and make sure you go around all of them with 2 bands. You're gonna flip the bottom ones over, okay? So you should have that. Flip over carefully. And out of these, you're gonna grab this one again and flip it over. Out of these, you're gonna grab that bottom one, okay? Which is that one that's capped. Flip it over. The other side. I'm gonna grab that one that is capped, flip it over. The one that's capped right here, flip it over. Flip that one over too. Okay. Alright. Now, again, we're gonna do this 3 times, okay? 3 times regularly. So, alright. Let's go ahead and keep going around. Make sure your bands are pushed down so you have enough room to add your next row of double bands. Remember, 2 bands. And I'm going to go ahead and grab the bottom 4, which are these, flip those over. Again, I want to grab the bottom 4, flip those over. So bottom 4, flip, bottom 4, flip. There we go, 4. 4. Okay, and push down. That is number 2. Now we're going to do our 3rd row. Okay. Again, flip over the bottom ones. There you go. Alright, now that we have all 3 set, okay, you want to make sure that you're doing it also on the right side, okay? So this is what I used as my top plaster, but I mean it's not gonna really matter at the end. Alright, so here's what we're gonna do. For the next section, now that you did it 3 times, the next section will be, you're gonna be using, pay attention, you're gonna be using 2 bands right here on these, and these you're going to be using 1 band, okay, but it's going to be capped. Cap your band, put it right there, and now another cap band right there, okay? So cap that band, just like so. And now we're going to go and continue on with double bands, okay? So 2 bands, 2 bands, and 2 bands, and 2 bands, and go ahead and flip those over. So bottom 4 right here on this one, the bottom 4 on this one, this one. Now when you do the other side, you're going to notice that it looks like this. So on this one, you should have all bottom 4 be regular ones. So you should see that that's a cap band on the top. All these should also be regular ones. And these again, all 4 bands. Okay, so you should have it look like that. We're gonna do this next row a little differently. Now, again, 1 band for this one. You're gonna cap it. Place it right there. Okay. Another band, cap it. Place it right there. Cap the next one. Make sure you're doing it on the same side where you had the cap bands before, okay? Don't start on the opposite side. Cap the next one. Now the last 2 are going to be double bands, okay? So 2 bands for this one. Yep. 2 bands for this one. Okay. So now we're going to go ahead and flip over the bottom bands. On these should be just regular. Make sure that's, there we go. So these are all regular 4 bands. Okay. On the other side, there's a lot of cap bands everywhere. So right here, you're going to grab the bottom 4. Okay. Flip those over. Bottom 4. Now these are all caps, so be careful. And these 4. Okay. You should have 4 rows of cap bands left over. Okay. Another row. And on this one, we're going to go back to double bands again right here on this side. And then cap bands for the top one, okay? So cap that. And this one, cap it. And double bands again for the rest. 2 bands. Flip those over. This one you're going to notice that these are going to have some cap bands. These are all doubled. This one has a pair of cap bands. Oop, missing one. There we go. It's not mine. There we go. Now there's 4 left over. Alright, I'm going to push down. Do the other side. Now this one, again, is all cap bands, so be careful. This one's all cap bands, so again, you want to be careful with that one too. And this one also all cap bands, so be careful. Alright, and then once you are done with that, you should have it start looking like so. Okay. Alright, now that we are at that stage, the next one we're going to go ahead and do will be our closer. I think it's our closer. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we're going to do our closer. So now we're going to go ahead and grab 2 bands. 2 bands, okay? And this one, you're going to be putting all around the entire thing. Just like that. Okay. Let's go ahead and flip everything over. Those 2 bands. I'm going to push my bands down, do the other side. Again, flip over all of them. Okay. Alright, now that we are at this stage, okay, again, So I can tell that on this side they're all regularly, and on this side, oops, I'm sorry, it's forming the wrong way. It's supposed to be on this side. So right here where your bars are at, because that's our toes right there. So this side, you can see my cap bands in there and on this side I don't have cap bands. Okay, so I know that this is my top. Okay, and I can also tell because the cap bands are right there as well. So you want to keep track. I'm gonna keep that on my top right there. Okay. Now let's go ahead and we're gonna be working with 2 bands, and these are gonna go just like before. We're gonna be making that cross star or the asterisk sign, and we're gonna go from here to here first with 2 bands, and from this one also double bands. Okay, in the middle, and the next one double bands from here to here. All right. Now we only have 2 rows then. Okay, so I'm gonna push these down carefully, and I'm gonna go ahead and do my 3rd row, because our first row was that holding band, and now we just did our 2nd row, so this will be our 3rd row. Again, start from this side to this side. You want to keep track that you are doing it the correct sides first, okay? Otherwise it's going to misshape its form. You do the middle second, and this side, do this side last. Okay. Now we can flip over that very bottom one. Okay. I'm gonna flip it. Flip that one. Flip that one. On this side, I want those bottom 2 and flip those. Bottom, flip. Bottom and flip. Okay, I'm gonna keep that on top still. So now that we have that, we're gonna go ahead and start using our wire. Again, we're gonna use our black coated wire. Okay, and for this purpose, again, we're gonna go ahead and we want it about the same length as we did for the arms. If you have your arms handy with you, you can be able to probably measure. Alright, so gonna start off measuring that to there, to there. So I'm getting about this much, okay? So yeah, that seems about appropriate. I'm gonna go ahead and just give me an extra inch of leeway. I'm gonna cut that off. Okay. Now that I have that done, I'm gonna go ahead and grab my pliers, and I want to use about, again, the size from, you see that line on your finger, you want it to be about as long as that. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and bend that over. Alright, so it looks just like that. I want to insert that in here and take it out on the other side. So you may need to kind of stretch this out a little so I can put that in. I'm going to take the other point on this side, okay? Now that you have that, I'm going to use my fingers to pinch it. And if you want to use the pliers, you can do that too. Okay. What I'm going to do instead, I'm just going to go ahead and curl it one more time so that way it doesn't go up and down. Okay, alright. So now that I have it curled down, I want to pinch that also. So that way it's not gonna, the hook, it's not gonna go all over. Alright. I kind of really want to flatten it. You see how it's coming out? Alright. That way I could just go in and I have some wire in the foot. Okay. Alright. I have that done. Alright. Since we flipped over once, we want to flip over 6 more times. Remember, we had to do it 7 in total. So I'm gonna start putting all my bands through here. I'm gonna grab 2 at a time because it's a lot easier to work with that way. I'm gonna grab 2, put it right here. Okay, just like always. And I need more bands. Alright. Now I'm gonna do the middle. So 2 bands again. Yeah. Next 2 bands. Right there. And there. Okay. Now I'm gonna go ahead and flip over the bottom 2 bands, okay? Just the bottom 2 bands. There we go. These 2. Should have 4 bands left over. There we go, 2. 2. Okay. The other side. 2. The reason why I put my wire in at this stage is because it's a lot harder to put it at the end based on this design. But I like this design because it gives it much more realness. I like highly detailed patterns that suit how the character is going to look like. Continue. Notice how I'm always starting on this side first, okay? You always want to do that one first, your middle second, and this one last, okay? Push bands down, okay? Continue on. I think we just did 2, so this would be, once we flip over this one, that will be our 4th set. Okay, so yeah, 1, 2, yeah, we just did that initial one, yes, and 2, 3, yeah, so when we flip over, this will be number 4, okay? So that means we need to flip over 3 more times before we can be able to switch over to our thighs. This is just the bottom part of the leg. So that was 4. Let's put our next section. Okay, so this is flip over 5. Okay. Okay, so now this is flip number 6. Okay. So this is going to be flip number 7. This is going to be the last time that we are doing it like such. And then we're going to move on to our thighs. Seven. Here we go. Okay. It is coming along good. This part will be, if you push your wire a little down, you can actually be able to make this bend. Don't worry about that. See how your foot is kind of coming? Alright. Did I do 7 for this one? I think it was 7. Hold on, let me see. Okay, I had to take a moment to recount my number. Okay, we're at 7 times that we flipped already, and that's going to be enough to go just to cover enough for the shoe, right? So as you can see, all right, so we need a little bit more just to be able to come out of the shoe. So we're going to go ahead and do this at least 4 more times. Let's continue doing that. So in total, we're gonna have, I guess, 11 flips. This is gonna be number 8 that we're doing right here. Apologize for all that. Ooh, he's got switched over. There you go. Just about to it. Mine are kind of getting mixed from the pause I took. There you go. Let's see how it's going to look like after 11. So this will be 8. Okay. Remember, we're still going with double bands. And flipping over the bottom too. Okay. That is 9. Probably gonna have to do more. Alright, we'll see. So that is 10. All right, 11. Let's do one more. Let's go to 12 and then we'll start with our thigh. Okay, 12. Yeah, I'm good with that. Okay, now we're gonna go ahead and do our thigh part. Our thigh, we have to do it, I want to say also 7 or 8 times, okay? So we'll see how it's gonna check out. This time, instead of going around in our star configuration, we're gonna do our rectangular configuration with double bands, okay? So we're gonna go ahead and start right there. So kind of like we did for the foot. Because we need our thigh to be a little bit thicker than our shins. Okay. Now that you have that row, you're actually going to be placing all of your bands, okay? All 4 of these bands over these 4 bands. So go ahead and grab all those 4 bands and flip them over. Okay, push down. So our thigh has been started. That is 1 for our thigh. Okay, so no more having to go through your wire. Aren't you glad about that? What's wrong with me? I'm starting to slow down. Right, and again, flip over all 4 of your bands. Okay. Like this one. Okay, that is 2. Again, flip over your bottom 4 bands. That is 3. Am I on 4? Let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. I think this is 5, so in order to be able to check, I'm going to count right here to my side, and this is already 1, because obviously this looks so much bigger than all the other ones. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, that's my 5th flip. Oops. Here. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so this is the 6th row. Alright, so I think we said that we're gonna check to see how it looks like after 7. So bands push down, keep going. We're gonna do number 6 right now, and then we're gonna flip over one more time for number 7, and we'll see how it is, if I like it that big. Okay, that is 6. Last one. Yeah. Okay, 7. All right. Yeah, I think I'm. Yeah. I think I am fine with that. Alright. I don't want my Yoshi to be too gigantic. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and get rid of our... No, I can't do that. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and close it right up. So here's how we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and transfer all of these right over to the ones right across. Okay. Careful when you're doing this. Alright. I'm going to go ahead and put slip knots on all these. And the reason why I keep doing that is because we need to connect them to the body at the end. Okay. These are the same slip knots I've been using the entire Yoshi. I just take them off and reuse them, take them off and reuse them, and they're still pretty intact. There's one. Take it off. Alright. Okay. A way to be able to test it, of course, you see right there, obviously, that's so much thicker. We're going to go ahead and bend that. Okay. So now, this part of your foot. Actually, here, hold on. I need to push my wire a little bit more in. So that way I can be able to have some on my foot, because I want to be able to bend the foot down. See, these are my cap end bands, and right here are all the regular ones. So I want the cap end ones to be on this side because it's much smaller on this side. Okay. There's the foot. Now on this one, I obviously already added the toe on this one. So that means that this foot I worked on is going to be my left foot. So I have to put my thumb, the big toe, on this one. So let's go ahead and do that right now. Before we go any further, so we are actually going to be doing 2 bands, and we're going to cap those. Cap those 2 bands. And do 2 bands again, and just add them regularly. And go ahead and put your cap band 4 times around. And loom that up. I'm going to take it out. Alright. Now, again, just like the other thumb, we're going to go ahead and slip these 4 through this. Just like so. Okay. Don't pull too hard, you just want to tug. Alright, so since this one is on this side, we're going to put it right here. Okay, and notice how when I added this one, I added the slip knot through the bottom and it stayed on the top. So I'm going to do the same thing right here. I'm going to grab my hook, and you see how they are on this edge. Okay, you need these to be on top. So you want to find the edge where your bands are at. Okay, they're obviously all connected to here. So we're going to go ahead and grab these bands right here. You usually have 4 bands, okay, because it's right in the middle where all your fingers are at. And you want to go to the bottom of your foot. Now go ahead and grab your big toe, slip it through, and now you're going to slip the whole entire toe through this hole right here. Okay. Alright. It's kind of doing something funky right now, but we can easily keep fixing that just by adjusting our bands. Okay. Just want to keep adjusting until I have it to the desired location. Okay, that's good. So we have those. Okay, so we're gonna make the other foot. Okay, so I'm using this as an example. All right, but you're pretty much gonna do the same thing for your other foot, anyways. So let's just go ahead and test it out on one shoe. All right. I know that this is going to be my left shoe, so I'm going to open it up with my fingers and then slip it inside. Oh, that's great. Yes. I like it. All right. So one foot is done. Go ahead and start the same thing again on your other foot and do it on the other side, okay? All right. a way to be able to do is just bend this. I'll take this off. Bend this on the halfway mark. If you want to put this straight again, so that way you know your wire is about right there. But remember, you're going to be folding it, so you need a little bit of leeway, about like right there. So that's my halfway mark. All right. So again, I need to fold that right there. Okay. You can use your pliers if you want to. All right. Actually, a little bit higher. I might need to use my pliers. Yeah. I'm just gonna go ahead and redo it anyways with my pliers. Okay. So go ahead and start right there. Once you go ahead and do your other foot. So you may want to pause the video right now because you need to do this foot. Okay. And you want to go ahead and insert this in there. Okay. So one moment. Let me get my pliers. I want to fold this correctly. Alright. So if you need to get to that point of redoing your video, go ahead and do so now. I'm going to just go ahead and insert this again. And I want to take the other side out right there. Almost. A few more bands. I almost got it. Alright, good enough. Okay, I'm gonna leave a little bit in there. Okay, so I don't want to take it the whole thing, just leave a little bit in there for your foot and then close it up. You may want to go ahead and remember, you can always do it on this loom again, right? If you don't have a monster tail. Okay. Whoop, so much echo. Alright. I have both my feet. So remember, you're going to have to put all your bands through this foot, okay? The best thing to do is to grab a few at a time and then just insert them. Just put them over. Just gonna go ahead and use those for now. I want to go ahead and just push them through. It's gonna be quite a task. I'm gonna leave them from right there, and I've done one so far, so I need to do 12. Remember, and I can see that these bands are the ones that went last. So I'm gonna go this way first. Okay. So just keep going with your same pattern that we've been doing, and you should be just fine. You're going to do this 12 times. That means you have to flip over 12 times. And then you have to do your thigh part, okay, 7 times. When you're done with that, just go ahead and close it up. You should have both of your legs, okay? Alright. I'm going to finish mine up, and then I'll show you how they look like in a moment. Okay. Alright. So if you've gotten already to this part, then great, but if not, then pause your video. Again, we're going to do the same thing. So again, I did 12 flips on this one. 7 on the thigh part, okay? I'm gonna go ahead and move all of my sides to the opposite ends. I'm gonna do it carefully. Okay, now I'm gonna go ahead and put my slip knots. Perfect. Okay, our legs are done. All right, good. So now I can actually put my shoes on. Okay. Bend the knee. Perfect, they stand up. Okay. There's Yoshi's feet. We have the arms. We have the head. And we have the shell. Okay. Now the final part to put everything together with the body. Okay, on the next video we're going to be doing the white part of the body, and we're going to be connecting it to the head as well as connecting these and connecting everything together on the final part of the head, okay? Alright, so we're going to be working with just the white on the next video. Alright, I'll see you in that one.